Hi, everybody, and welcome to a very nice and amazing opportunity to have three Mexican women who happen to be all pilots. Is a is an unusual situation. We don't have too many of them, so this is a treat for all of you. It is my pleasure to introduce you all of them, and then we're gonna start a conversation among us, so you can see who they are, what they like, where they come from, why aviation, and and where they are right now. Let me see here. Let me introduce you to Jacqueline Pulido. She's a former A320 captain. Her love of aviation stems from her childhood as an airline brat, where her mom worked as a flight attendant and her dad as an airline pilot. She started flying at 17. Her dream was to follow her father's footsteps, and one day became a captain too. She is married to a love of her life and who also is an A320 captain. In 2017, she temporarily hung off her wings to care for the son, but still remains active in the aviation industry. Thank you and welcome, Jackie.
Thank you, Anna. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you for inviting us and having us. It's one of our dreams come true. I definitely very thankful for the 99s. I also want to mention that many years ago, actually, Genoveva and we started the chapter in Mexico many years ago. So we're very thankful that you're having us here.
So to start a little bit about yourself. So I know you have been always in the aviation industry and always wanted to be a pilot. Tell me a bit what extra hobby you have besides being in the air.
Oh wow! Well, I've tried to do many things, and so you know how it works with pilots. You don't have enough time. But one of the ones that I've actually stuck to is definitely painting. Painting has been great for me. I actually enjoy it so much. And the other one that I do like a lot is exercising. I've tried Pilates, and it's crazy because pilots, we spend so much time sitting that I started suffering from back problems. And then I found out that Pilates was great for the back, and it's been great ever since. So I've done it for more than 10 years now.
That's good. That's good. So what was the most challenging time when you were training to become a captain?
Training to become a captain. I guess for me, one of the things that I faced was realizing the responsibility, the huge responsibility that was handed off to me. Just being now the captain, having that whole pressure lying over your shoulders, right? That was definitely eye-opening, and I had to work through it through my training as we were training. I was in a beautiful group. I was blessed to be. I was probably like 12 or 13 of us. I was the only woman, and I was very blessed to have all the guys, standing beside me, and we were coaching each other and helping each other. So it was great. But I felt we all felt the same. It was eye-opening to just feel that pressure, right? Just realizing how much responsibility you were getting yourself into, right?
That happens. And a challenging time as a woman in the air. What do you think will be kind of the things that we need to learn for pass along to the next generation to make sure the next generation understand the steps you have taken to become who you are?
I guess one of the most important things that I would say is definitely always prepare yourself. Try to study, and when you don't have much experience, I think you can defend, or not defend yourself, but just feel more prepared just by studying. So you have to study, ask a lot of questions. Like you're a great mentor advocate. So I would say, get some good mentors, surround yourself by people that you admire, and that you can definitely go up to and ask and clarify for questions. And what else? Don't forget to keep her cool. Choose your battles. You don't have to fight all your battles. So some of them you just have to navigate them with a big smile and just breathe out, breathe in and breathe out sometimes, right?
Now, what advice will you give Jacqueline Pulido, who is 18 years old?
I would say, if I could, to take it easy, don't rush. I felt so much pressure to rushing through my pilot career that I now I see I could have enjoyed it a little bit more. You're so excited, you know, to get those hours, to build those hours and hurry up to get that license, that time when you're a student and then you're learning, I guess you forget to just enjoy it a little bit more, and you're just running to get that license. And now I look back and I said, hey, it was a great time. I should have you know, enjoyed it more, although I did, but I think I could have done better.
That's okay. And then something that is, you know, you are the first woman captain for Volaris, right?
Well, actually, I was the first woman pilot. I was the first woman they hired as a pilot, and I was the first officer back then.
Okay.
So it was very interesting to be in that situation.
So what, yeah, tell me a little bit more about it.
So it was back in, let me see, 2005. And they, well, they were inviting us to come and apply for the job, and they would test you. You had a simulator test and knowledge test and an interview with all the, you know, CEO of the company. And it was a wonderful experience. I knew a few of the pilots. We were all very young, and they were great. They were welcoming me. And when I remember one of the things I said, well, are you ready to be the first woman that we hire as a pilot? And you have a lot of, you know, you're going to have a lot of responsibilities. And I felt that huge weight, you know, over my shoulders, because I knew that it wasn't that common to see more women pilots. And it felt a lot of responsibility. And I said, yeah, I'm ready. Let's give it a shot. And they were great with me. I felt a lot of their support. Although, of course, I did find, you know, that little, I would say, a pebble in the shoe, where you find certain people that, well, they're not used to working with women, or, you know, also seeing them as pilots. So of course there were some people that weren't very happy, but most of them were great. And I had also, there was 21 of us in my group, and we were 20 guys and me, the only girl. And they were also very, very, I could say very protective at a certain point, very fatherly, and they welcomed me, or at least that's what I thought. But they were great.
What would be the best advice to a newcomer?
I would say, enjoy the ride, study. Don't feel the pressure about, I mean, when I wanted to be a pilot, as I was growing up, I never had that. I'm there's no room for women. I never had that in my mind. I didn't know until when I started studying, that they were all like, oh, you're the only girl. And then I started noticing that I was the only all the time, right? So I wouldn't, don't waste your time there. There's enough, you know, for women and men to work in this industry, and have a plan, I would say.
All right. Thank you for everything. I pass you along so you can introduce the next one.
Oh yes, I'm so excited. I've actually had the time to meet Cynthia through the telephone. That's how we've met, and we've communicated. We share a same group of women pilots, Latin American pilots, and it's my honor to share this form with her. So I'll tell you a little bit about Cynthia. She studied in Mexico in La Escuela de Aviación México. That's where she got her private pilot's license and her commercial. She flew in Acapulco and Cuernavaca, which are beautiful cities. When she was always 21 years old, she was very young. She was hired at Mexicana Click, and she was a first officer flying a Fokker 100. And then later, she also flew the Boeing 717. In 2010, Mexicana Click closed, and she was hired at Interjet. It's also a Mexican low-cost airline. They are headquartered in Mexico. She started there as a first officer, and by the time she was 26, she was promoted to a captain for the Sukhoi Superjet 100. And 3 years later, again, she was promoted to captain of an Airbus 320. So yay, she's also a 320 captain here. In 2019, she felt it was time to try something different, and she was hired by Aeromexico. Aeromexico is the flag airline carrier from Mexico, and she's based in Mexico City. Now she currently is a 737 first officer. So welcome, Cynthia.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the presentation. I'm very excited to have this opportunity to have this conversation with you all. Thank you.
Likewise. So thanks for joining us. And I'm very interested in knowing. I know you and Canoveva are very close to ASPA, your pilot union. And I wanted to ask you, how did you get involved in the, well, I guess we could call it the, so it's just, tell us a little bit more of what you're doing with ASPA.
Well, one of the really things about the reason about why I changed from Interjet to Aeromexico, it was ASPA. And of course, this association that came together with ASPA, that it's about union and equality of our gender. And that's why I decided to change for my job. And since I knew that they have a lot of good things as maternity leaves and paternity leaves, I decided to make a change in my life. And they are doing a lot of campaigns, a lot of movements about these things about women. And I think they are doing a great job now with this beca, in the first beca that was given to one of the winners of Emma Catalina Encinas Aguayo beca. It's really interesting because it's the beginning of many becas.
Right. Oh yeah, that's the first scholarship that's awarded in Mexico, and it was just awarded to she's a student. I'm not sure. Is she a student pilot, or she doesn't have any pilot training? Do you know?
No, she do not have any pilot training. So it's from the private until commercial.
That's awesome. And it's named, the scholarship is named Emma Catalina Encinas because she was the first Mexican pilot, right?
Yes, she was in 1929. She was the first Mexican pilot to receive that private license.
Ooh, that's wonderful. I hope we can learn more about her journey studying as a pilot.
Yeah.
How exciting. And Cynthia, tell me, so what are your hobbies?
Well, I have a lot, but I think that when this pandemic arrived and I had to take this leave of absence because of the pandemic, I really realized that I love my job, because I didn't miss it a lot when I didn't fly in a year and 3 months that I have this leave of absence. So in that time, I do a lot of things. And one of them is to discover one of my passions and addiction nowadays, and it's indoor cycling. Because at the beginning of the pandemic, this indoor cycling was in outdoor, and many of the classes were in the rooftop of buildings and on heliports. So it was amazing. So I always imagined that while I was riding, that I was like flying in the sky, up in the sky, and I was flying along with a lot of people around me, but surrounding with clouds, and that's and I always look up in the sky and also see all the airplanes that pass above us, and that I only kind of miss that also. So I try to ride as fast as I can, not as fast as an airplane, but I did my best. I did my best to ride.
That's wonderful. And Cynthia, you told me you're married. Well, when we spoke on the phone, we learned. I know a little bit more about you, but you're also married to a pilot.
Yeah. Also, yeah. So one of my always my inspiration and motivation have been my family, and my mother, my father, my sister, and now my husband, always having supported me throughout my career. And I don't know, they are like my engine throughout my success. And it's a very interesting relationship because both pilots, and he can understand me and all the way around. And it's very interesting talking about our day and how at the beginning, well, we have 6 years marriage and 7 years that we were boyfriends. And well, it's quite a long time. We were almost growing together and sharing also. I don't know. It has been a good time. And the beginning, it was very interesting because I don't know. I went with him in a lot of his flights, and all the way around, he also went with me in some flights in another places, and it was pretty awesome to have that.
That's great because Anna is also married to a pilot, so I guess we're all eventually. It works.
It works. Yeah.
It's great, great. And what do you think? What has been one of your most challenging moments in your career?
Well, I think I have several of them, but one of the funniest one is the one when you are a child, you are pretty small. Because when I was a child, I always loved to play with Barbies, and always I remember always playing with my Barbie airplane, and also playing with a PA system, the communication that you have with the passenger, and always having fun with that. But I always wanted to be a pilot. But when I get to high school, I think that was the moment that I started questioning that if my dream wasn't right. Because when I started talking to my schoolmates about my dream, and talking me, what do you want to do with your future? And I said, I want to be a pilot like my father. And they didn't take me seriously. They make jokes about my pink airplane and all that. So it was like, am I deciding my dream is okay to be a pilot? And well, it was one of the challenges to be to have this dream come true. And then a few years later, when I get home and I ask my father, Dad, are there women pilots? I didn't ask you before, but now I'm interested. He told me, yes, of course they are. And a couple of days later, while he was at work in the airplane, he told me, here's someone that I want to talk to you. Okay. And there she was. She was that woman pilot. Her name was Alejandra. And she talked to me. And well, she was the person that motivated me to continue with my dream to become a pilot. And I want to do the same now to motivate another girl to continue with their dreams, no matter what other people said. And I want to give that awareness that girls can do it too. And that's one of my, and also one of the funny things about this challenge thing. It was when I arrived to the aviation school, and I realized that everybody were men. Nobody, there was no women at all. And my father was with me in that moment in the car, and I was terrified to getting out of the car. So I told him, okay, Dad, I will count until 3, and I will get out of the car and will not look back forward. So bye, you know. And that's one of my greatest moments of my life. And well, of course, each one of my proficiencies has been a really challenge, but it's kind of different because you are there, you are making it happen. Your dream is happening, so you only have to be very responsible and to the heart, and that stuff.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing all this. This is wonderful. And tell me one last thing. What is one of your most incredible moments that you lived with your dad, seeing him as a pilot?
Oh, there are 2 of them, because one of them of that moment, very important with my dad, was when I flew with him in the same airline. He as a captain and I as a first officer, and was a great moment. Yes, wow. It was like a very strange sensation because I was doing my work as any other day, but at the end of the time, I turned to the left and I was saying, Dad, what are you doing here? And maybe he was wondering the same, looking to the right, and my little baby is here. And it was an incredible moment to fly with him. We went to Villahermosa in Mexico, and I always remember that time when I flew with him. And the other moment with him was when my sister is also a pilot, and we were working also in the same airline, and we both flew together, me as a captain and my sister as a first officer. And wow. I told her, what if we make a surprise for my mother and my father? Maybe we can bring them together from Las Vegas to Mexico City. And she said, yes, that sounds great. And we did it. We made the surprise to them, and we transport him to Las Vegas, from Las Vegas to Mexico City, and was a precious moment. My mother cried a little bit, and my father, like very good pilot, he was like, I want to see who the captain is, and there was the moment where he noticed that I was the captain and my sister was the first officer.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, wow. That's incredible. 2 amazing stories. I love it. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Yvette. It's awesome to, being able to share with us in this moment. Thank you so much.